Game week 8 is done. And look, guys, if you don't have Haaland at this point, then you should know that you are losing out a lot. All right, so game week 8 is done. We are heading into game week 9. That is about 4 days away. So let's get into a recap of what happened during game week 8. Game week 8 was interesting. If you had the top players, you should be good to go. So I mentioned a few. If you'd really listened, I'm sure you'd be smiling now. All right, before we do get into it, I would like to kindly subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let's know how things are going on for you. All right, so game week 8 fixtures. We had Chelsea taking on Nottingham Forest. That was the first match, and Chelsea beat them by 3 goals to nil, followed by Brighton v Newcastle. Brighton winning by 2 goals to 1. Burnley beating Leeds United by 2 goals to nil. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth, which ended 3-3, kind courtesy of Mateta magic. So if you had Mateta, I'm sure you'd be smiling now. Haaland also given a brace for City as they triumphed over Everton by 2 goals to nil. Sunderland beating Wolves by 2 goals to nil as well. And it ended with on Saturday with Arsenal beating Fulham narrowly by a 1 goal to nil. So on Sunday it was Aston Villa Spurs, which ended 2-1 in favour of Aston Villa, followed by Manchester United beating Liverpool by 2 goals to 1. Then on Monday, we had Brentford beating West Ham United by 2 goals to nil. Very interesting match there. So before let's get into the stats, let's see how some players fared. So the most selected player for Game Week 8, we had Haaland leading the chart, followed by Semenyo. We had Pedro in the mix as well, Kudus, and a few others. So even though Salah was amongst the top transferred out, a good number of managers still had him, which is quite good. So I think you should keep your faith in him. Give him about a week or two. Let's see how things goes for him. Then we head into game week. Let's see the most transferred in. So we have Voltamin make leading the charts, followed by Mateta, Haaland. So I said, if you remember quite rightly, I said if you don't really have an idea who to really go for, just follow the transfer then and you should be good to go. But these stats are just current, so I'm sure after the game week, so many managers are rushing to get to get these players informed. But you'd want to be relaxed, go through the stats, go through the analysis, make sure that you are getting the right player, and you should be good to go. So the most transferred out, as I said, Salah was leading the chart, followed by Pedro, Jokeres in the mix, Renders, and a few others. So in form, we have Alan leading, followed by Gabriel. We have Semenyo, Welbeck, Reece James. So these are the players in form currently, and it's interesting. So you should consider have even Thiago Bradford. You should consider having one or two of these players. Thiago can easily serve as a differential forward for you if you are really out of ideas. So you have your Haaland, you have another player in the mix. You could just add Thiago as a differential. So we'll see how that also goes. So before game week 9 would give you a preview what to expect, what to also look out. So you should look out for that, and I'm sure you would be good to go. So let's just analyze the fixture ratings based on how the matches are coming in for some teams. So looking at Arsenal's next 2 games, it looks okay. Even next 3 games looks okay. Aston Villa looks very tricky, so you'd want to be very cautious. You don't see so many managers having Aston Villa players, but they could still surprise. Bournemouth have some tricky fixtures as well. Chelsea have some quite good players, followed by Liverpool. Let's see Liverpool, a tricky one or two, but it's all good. City have some tricky fixtures, but it's good as well. Newcastle, some good fixtures, so you can easily consider a Voltamed from Newcastle or Bruno Gameres. So there are some few good choices in there. Dan Burn from Newcastle as well. Spurs to have some quite interesting fixtures. Sunderland in the mix, West Ham. West Ham, I'm still trying to decode them because new manager, new philosophy. It seems the players are still adjusting to the change, and also we'll see how that goes for them as well. But you can still keep your hopes in them. You never know what's going to come out. So I'm still keeping my hopes in Bowen, hoping that he would pick up form under this new manager and see how things goes. Wolves are struggling, so I doubt so many managers having, but have players from there, but you can still be very cautious. Leeds United have some quite okay fixtures. We have Everton in the mix thereabout. So you just go through, you see that there are some good fixtures coming, and before the game week 9 would give you analysis on who to consider. So let's see what some managers did right. So the highest in the world had 138. He played bench boost, and you could see that it really paid off for him because his team was set. He really came prepared. That was just brilliant. So he had Mateta, he captained Mateta. He didn't even have Haaland, which is quite surprising. So even without Haaland, you could see that he really performed because he had James, he had O'Reilly, we had Munez, he had Gabriel, and all these players delivered the goals in defense. So if you have defenders delivering an assist or a goal, it's always a plus. Even clean sheets, it's a plus. And so, all in all, his team was very set. So, bench boost helped him out. And we also talk about the chips. We have about 10 game weeks more, 8 to 10 game weeks more till the first half of the season. And you should consider using your chips any moment from now. At least we have 4 chips, we have 10 game weeks. If you use one every 2 weeks, you should be done before the first half of the season. If you don't get to use your chip before the first half, you should just know that you are losing it, which will be very, very disastrous. Because heading into the second half, you also be given new chips, so you'd want to take advantage of that. Let's see what some other managers, so worldwide, those leading the charts did right. So this manager is still leading the charts. You could see that it's nothing has really changed for him. He's still number one. He didn't use any chip, but you could see that he had the constants in Gabriel, he had Voltamed, he had Haaland, he captained Haaland, so that was a plus. So once you have Haaland, you captained him, you should be good to go. And I think he's going to provide the returns for some managers, for most managers, for a while. So that will be a plus as well. This manager rose in the ranks, he didn't use any chip. And you could see he also had the constants in Gabriel. He had Mateta, he had Haaland. So I think the Haaland Mateta combination really paid off for him. He had Gabriel O'Reilly, very interesting selection there. So that's good. So he has Bruno Guimaraes, and I think he should really pay off, or he should really provide the returns for some managers heading into the subsequent games because Newcastle have some good fixtures coming up. Even though they'll be playing Champions League, they'll be playing midweek, we'll still expect some good performance during the week. We still expect some good performances from them during the weekend. So the third manager, he used triple captain Haaland. Very good decision there. He had Constance Munez, he had Gabriel. His midfield quite normal, but I think the Mateta Haaland combination helped him with the bonus of triple captain Haaland. So that was just it. So you should. So if you just look at the constants, you get them right. You should be good to go. If you didn't even have Haaland and you didn't even have Mateta, you had Haaland, you should still be good to go. So that is how it's looking after game week 8. Talking about the chips, I think if it's this the time. So I ended up with 58 points, and as I said, I'm focusing on differential. So this is how my team came. I had my constant in Gabriel Munez, my forwards. I had Voltamed. I kept my faith in Bowen. I brought in Pedro. He didn't provide. That's okay. I still have Salah, and I captained him. So I wanted a differential captain, and it didn't work out. But I still keep my faith, and I'm doing this till the end of the first half of the season. After which I'm going to apply defense principles each game week after the first half of the season, but for the whole of the first half, it's just going to be more of differentials, about 60 to 70% differentials every game week for my team, just to see how it goes. And I just want you to understand that it works and it's something that you should really try out. So I'm okay with that. It's my choice. And we move on from there. So heading on into the chips, you'd want to consider using a few. If your team, you don't have some of these constants, considering the fixtures that we've spoken about and how they are looking, this is the time for you to really consider using your wild card. If you do have it, look at the fixture ratings before game week 9, would give you some few analysis as to when you could probably use your triple captain, because it could be a plus for you any of these game weeks, considering the fixtures, your bench boost as well. You should be able to use it now before the fixtures gets very crammed up. Sometimes it's very difficult getting so many points from crammed up fixtures, because there's going to be fatigue, which means there are going to be fewer goals. But now most teams are really stocked. So let's see how that goes. So consider using your chips any moments from now. At least one every 2 weeks should be good for you, and you should be good to go. So that is how game week is looking. Game week 8 is looking. It was interesting. We hope for the best heading into game week 9.